I noticed this gentleman sitting on the bench. I asked, "Are you rolling?" And he's like, "I have never rolled before." My first thought was, Crystal, you're gonna get his choke cherry. Before the roll started, I sat him down and I was like, "I'm not going to kill you. It'll be a good first time experience.
I won't be like super aggressive.
I promise to be not aggressive. Aggressive would be fighting for top position. I did not try to bounce his head off the mat, do a cement mixer, try to choke him out with his own arm, gift wrap him, then try to armbar him. Instead, I took a submissive position.
I mean, it don't get much more submissive and puppy behavior than this.
Attacks from the bottom position are like an airbag. We want to use them and know them for when shit goes wrong. We're not trying to use our airbag every time we come to a stop sign. In a self-defense situation or in an MMA fight, would you want to be in this bottom position?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. I mean, it don't get much more submissive and puppy behavior than this.
I start from my back and figured I would work some brand new game, not try to force anything, just play off of his movements and use as little effort and strength as possible. Looking for some angles to set up some stuff. I see his back is open. He gets a whizzer, which prevents me from gaining access to his back easily, and I'm very surprised that he would know that. That's very good. Exactly the correct movement and response to do in that situation. A response of mine would be to limp arm out. However, he reaches over my head with his other arm, and that brings his back wide open into view. I take advantage of a back that I am literally looking at. If you can see the back, you can take the back.
Good job. Jeremiah coming in hot with the technique. Whoa.
And this was his first choke. Aww, special. His friend Ryan brought him in, who is laughing at him right now. Thanks for that support, Ryan. For the record, we all get choked in Jiu Jitsu. I've been choked thousands of times. Everybody has been choked. When going for a rear naked choke, it was not my intention to bring him backwards. I was trying to spin around and bring him to his side. Because his leg was a little bit out, do you see how his foot is out? I was unable to bring him to his side, so we ended up going backwards. Make sure that your legs are tucked underneath you so that you can easily fall to your left or right side and your tibia, fibia is not blocking you, because something in your leg could break as a result of that. If you are doing this rear naked choke, try not to bring them backwards. Try to bring them to the left or to the right side. That way you can take care of your partner's knees as well. He goes for a guillotine, and anytime somebody has you in a guillotine can be in response to a double leg, and a double leg can also be a response to a guillotine. Even though he is squeezing the crap out of my neck, the guillotine isn't on in a technical way. Because it isn't closing my arteries, I am able to get a double leg. Get back into frame and slap hands. Again, I take a bottom position and pull him into my guard. That way it gives him an advantage because he is in top position. I figure I might as well just work some bottom game. He's trying to set up a guillotine, and anytime that somebody reaches across you, you can get to their back, arm drag to the back. I am looking at his back and trying to get on his back, but he has learned from to then drive directly into me. We go out of frame, and I come back with, I believe, and I come back armbarring him. And he actually has a very good armbar defense. He crosses his arm, he hides his arm, which is a very intelligent defense. I see an omoplata opening and grab his waist so he does not roll through, rips his arm out. Again, I'm not being super aggressive here. I'm playing loose because it's his first time, and I'm hoping he will feel my energy. He tries to go for a front headlock, an arm in guillotine, and I use a front headlock escape. And now I'm thinking about doing a knee bar. He is driving into me. Because he continuously drives into me, I figure, why not do a new move? Now his legs are flailing around. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but we'll come back into frame. I go for a knee over pass and then throw his leg by. Does a good job of putting his knee in to stop my pass or try to stop my pass, but I get by his knee. He is obsessed with squeezing the shit out of my neck. I use this as an opportunity to get to mount. The goal is to try and use this as a setup to arm triangle choke him. He moves, decide to go with armbar. He is crossing his arms as I'm working to get his arms uncrossed. He explodes out of it and escapes the armbar. Now he is squeezing the crap out of my neck, and this is a perfect self-defense example. In a street fight, a lot of people will try to put you in a headlock. If the fight gets to the ground, chances are this is a position you are going to be in. If you're ever in a keisakatami or scarf hold, it's the same position. The first step to the escape is getting your bottom arm out, because then it turns it into a headlock position. All you have to do is get your head out and you have their back. All I need to do is make a frame on his back, and I figure I'll get my hooks in too. That way I can use my hooks to do a hip thrust movement, much like doing a deadlift. Using a deadlift motion with my legs in addition to a frame on his back to pry my head out of his arms, which are, I mean, look how much flexing he's doing. He is like really trying here. So that's the beauty of Jiu Jitsu. You can take a self-defense situation such as being in a headlock and then turn it into a rear naked choke. So he ends up tapping to a rear naked choke. Here the aggression level is starting to be amped up by the beginner. I mean, it's his first roll and he's probably trying to make something work. From this front headlock position, he uses that as an opportunity to get a hold of my arm. And then basically chucks me with all like if I was his same weight, this move would not have worked. If you're rolling with somebody smaller, and especially if that person is not being aggressive, promise to not be aggressive, think about how much energy you're using to do a move and ask yourself, is this move even a jiu-jitsu move? If you're bench pressing people and trying to use your muscle to do whatever is the opposite that they're trying to do, then chances are you're not doing jiu-jitsu. It makes me happy to make these videos. It does take a lot of time for me to edit. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. It's like a big virtual hug and, you know, it makes me feel good. So thank you for that. Now I'm going to replay the roll without any edits. That way you'll be able to learn more. I also want to explain something that will really help you in your training. It will give you longevity, because longevity is the name of the game. It's important that you understand how to navigate the mats and navigate your training. That way you know. A question I get asked a lot is, how do I roll with women and how do I roll with men? I have rolled with new people bigger than me that were chill. I've rolled with new people bigger than me that were not chill. I've rolled with smaller people that were not chill. It becomes more dangerous for you in terms of getting an injury if you're rolling with somebody who's bigger, stronger, and doesn't have a level of chill. It's difficult for them to get over the feelings that come with rolling. When people first start rolling, there is a adrenaline rush. Your brain thinks you're being attacked. Your nervous system basically goes haywire. For some people, it's very difficult to control. I learned learned something from this roll I want to share with you. That way you can also roll safer. I thought that because I promised to be less aggressive and my vibe during this roll was chill. I usually like to roll loose, even though it can look aggressive. Like my intention is very like laid back, and I see what's open. I'm aggressive, but I'm also not trying very hard. I see what's there and I take what's there. I'm not trying to force anything. I was hoping that my state of less aggressive would then calm him down, but it didn't matter. This is not bad. This is natural for a beginner. No matter what you do, they're still gonna roll to what they want to roll at. So my advice going forward, I am going to match this is very hard. It's like I want to match the aggression level only to the point of keeping myself safe, not to the point of matching so that I'm burning myself out. Because I also learned if I matched aggression levels of new white belts, then I'm just going way too hard, and I don't need to go that hard in order to make my jiu-jitsu work. That way I can get more rounds without completely burning myself out. There's this very delicate balance of conserving energy, but then also knowing who you're rolling with. If somebody tells you at the beginning of the roll, hey, look, I flail when I roll, I'm afraid of hurting you. All of these athletic, we call them spazzy movements when there's no technique involved. When that gets refined into technique, then it's called athletic explosiveness, which is very powerful in jiu-jitsu because jiu-jitsu is an athletic sport. All of these quote unquote flailing movements, that's going to be technique. As long as he can regulate his emotions so that he's not feeling so tense or excited when he rolls, then he's going to be great. My mistake here was I was trying to be a white belt whisperer, okay? This has worked for me before with white belts who were bigger and spazzy. I was able to sit them down and talk to them and be like, it's gonna be okay, everything's fine, I'm not killing you. And it turned into a helpful role. If someone is bigger and stronger than you, and they cannot regulate their emotions to go anything other than to the death, don't try to be a white belt whisperer, okay? If you're already maxed out in terms of your loading capacity and you don't want a hard roll, just politely decline or go in there, know what it's gonna be, and choke them. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to be a white belt whisperer. That was my lesson. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched more than one video, I welcome you. Come join our family. These videos take a lot of time to edit. I enjoy doing them for you. Anytime somebody subscribes, it's like a hug, and I really appreciate it. Until next time, bye.